The 12th century Yamai no sōshi, or the hand scroll of illness, is an emaki, or illustrated hand scroll that depicts various illnesses through image and text. I published an article in the Routledge Companion to Art and Disability entitled Bodies of Difference, Disability, and Otherness in the 12th Century Japanese Yamai no sōshi. In that article, I analyzed an alternative approach to the Yamai by focusing less on the original function and patronage of the scroll, and instead I asked how a new reading of the Yamai might provide insight into nuanced views on disease, impairment, and bodily difference, and what the representations in the scroll scenes can tell us about 12th century Japanese notions of ideal and abnormal human bodies. This approach challenges previous studies that assume a universal approach to illness as a unified category by centering on how different conditions were perceived. Rather than viewing the scroll as distasteful, this essay acknowledges that disease and disability are common human conditions, and that they were a major focus of image production and at the center of various socio-religious practices during the late Heian period. The 21 Yamai scenes have been described as unpleasant, distasteful, and crude. Much of the scholarly attention paid to the Yamai attempts to address or justify the origin and function of such images. This has been complicated by the Yamai's subject matter being unique among existing emaki and the lack of documents illuminating the circumstances surrounding the work's production. Previous studies offer convincing possibilities for better understanding of the history of the hand scroll, including its connection to Buddhist sutras, its relationship to medical knowledge, and its ties to popular literature, as well as the role of the patron, who is assumed to be elite. Overall, the Yamai shows that there were various types of bodies populating Japan at this time. Some counted more than others, some were more visible than others, and some were actively excluded. The distinctions between bodies that mattered and those that did not were firmly rooted in socio-political and religious concerns. This essay argues that the Yamai is a curation of disabled bodies that can be read as a visual, verbal catalog of people who vary in degree of deviation or violation of social norms that were influenced by concepts of defilement as well as social class. The Yamai provides a unique opportunity to explore different ways in which socio-cultural expectations informed the reception and representation of certain bodies in late Heian Japan. The otherness of disabled people was highlighted by their being placed within contexts that included normative bodies who interacted with and reacted to them. By centering the focus on the conditions and considering the figural relationships, this essay shows how figures with apparent and/or long-term conditions were more highly stigmatized than others. The figure's social status, as informed by class, plays a significant role in the degree of othering within the Yamai, which reflected the views of the powerful elite for which this work was produced. These representations also offer today's viewers important insights into the socioeconomic realities of disabled people during that time. Overall, looking at the scroll through the lens of disability studies shows that representations of conditions in the Yamai are not value neutral, but rather were read and interpreted within the specific interpretive community of late Heian Japan. I'm Dr. Holly Rubalcava, Associate Professor of Art History at Missouri Western State University, and this has been a Griffon University production. Share ideas.